Hello, and welcome to Mr. Red Dragon 543. And so, Genshin Impact has a ton, and I mean a ton, of potential. And, they have been testing things with new events, as well as different things in general. So far, the new Oceanid boss fight, I really do hope that they have like that kind of be a more permanent boss fight in the future, hopefully, because the Oceanid that we had for the actual boss fight in itself is kind of just, it's not as enjoyable when you're just fighting the water creatures, but the new Oceanid fight in 1.4 is actually really good. Now, you may be thinking to yourself, what kind of ideas would I, myself, give to MiHoYo to add and expand for not just for me, but for like all players in general? Like this could be something that would actually bring the fan base together and make the game last so much longer. So, number one on my thought list is having customizable domains for you and your friends. So, for the customizable domains, you wouldn't have necessarily any rewards, but it wouldn't cost anything either, but it'd be for domains for you and your friends to kind of set it up so that way you can see what monsters you could clear up faster and stuff like that. You could do it solo, you could do it co-op, but you ultimately get to kind of do like a building thing where you can choose to have like a puzzle domain, or you can have like a monster domain, like the weapons and stuff. So you can add different things. I think this would be a neat feature to have, since it would ultimately add a lot more creativity and a lot more longevity for single and co-op players. Why? Think about it like this, okay? You have so much potential to have all these enemies that you have, the strongest enemies at once. You can even set the enemies at certain world levels, even if you're at the max world level. Reason why I think this would also work is to help people with testing when it comes to damage output and character output as well. Because certain monsters do have a certain resistance towards certain things. So it would be pretty good for people that are into damage testing to also get a vibe for that stuff. Another thing that I do think that a lot of people would want is toggleable constellations. So a lot of constellations are upgrades for sure. However, like I said with the domains, this is my number 2, by the way, for a second idea for the toggleable. But it would also allow for people to test the characters of what they would be like with a 0 constellation versus whatever constellations they have, to see the difference in output and damage, or like usability in general. I know that for some people it's harder to get a vibe when a lot of them have max constellations, or if they have some constellations, but because of new players, they're not able to actually properly tell if 0 constellation is worth it, or if they should wait before building that said character. There are some characters that do heavily rely on constellations, so that is one thing to think about. But also with the whole damage testing, there are some constellations that also increase or give extra abilities. So having that beside the customizable domains would be also pretty interesting to see as well. Number 3 that I could see MiHoYo add to Genshin is kind of like a mix between challenge domains or, you know, whatever, where they'll have a special dungeon where you're automatically set to 0 constellations, or they want you to beat it without any artifacts, stuff like that, or even just enemies that only take damage with reactions. It'd be an interesting concept to definitely see, but I mean, like I said, it'd be pretty good too, because a lot of people do like to have more content, and I think adding some spice to something nice makes things very, very flavor. But so yeah, so number 3, having challenge domains where it's like each, you know, they could have one with where all characters are automatically set to 0 constellations. You can and it could work like the hypostasis event where you can turn these challenges on or off. So you can have all characters at 0 constellations. You could have it where all artifacts will be turned off, like or no artifact run, pretty much. So you can only rely on the weapons and the characters themselves. It'd be also interesting to see. Another thing too is a reaction damage only. So things like melt, vaporize, freeze, shatter, stuff like that. It'd be really cool to see the what they have. You know, like those are what I'm talking about, like challenge domains. Number 4 for my idea for MiHoYo for Genshin Impact is elemental weapons. So just hear me out for a second, because I know a lot of people are probably confused on why the fuck they would add that, but I mean, it's a fantasy game. A lot of fantasy does have enchanted weapons with elements and stuff, and I mean, it'd be pretty interesting to solo run and do solo reactions, such as you know, having Beto with a fire sword doing non-stop overload, or even, you know, Ganyu with a hydro bow doing constant freeze. Or, well, for bows, what they could do is the charge shot will always have that first element. So, like for Ganyu, when she does her charge shot, it will always be ice. But the auto attacks could have that fire element every 5 seconds. This would alter and vary the gameplay a lot more too. It'd be pretty cool. And it'd be very exciting for the community too, because I mean, think about it. Elemental weapons seems like something that Genshin should have had, but they don't. And plus, too, you know, it would also definitely make some characters more viable. And you can also have a lot more team combinations without the need of worrying about what characters you're going to have to use, and build your own team the way that you want them to be. It's pretty interesting, and I know that'd be pretty cool, you know. I don't know what everyone thinks about that, but I think that would be a pretty fucking cool idea. But as for the game now, it is really cool how they are doing it so far. I know for the stories and stuff, they're doing it pretty slowly, but also for number 5, And this is my last suggestion, is for smaller events, so stuff like the ley line overflow and the marvelous guy who comes with the primo gems and whatever, or the Geo Visharp expeditions, stuff like that. The small stuff, not the not the festivals and stuff, but the small stuffs like that. I think should be on a weekly or bi-weekly rotation, so that way it's you're able to have something that's still adding to the game, as well as adding extra ways to get primo gems for everyone. Well, I mean, the Overline don't have the primo gems, but I know the Marvelous box does, and so does the expeditions, but they can always do that on top of like new events as well, so it's like it's always adding on. So I don't know what everyone else thinks about this, but I think like those 5 would definitely be great benefits to this game. I know that in the future, wink wink, nudge nudge, were hinted at, well, I mean, okay, fuck it. miHoYo said themselves, there's going to be a housing system. So we're already getting a creative Minecraft and fucking Genshin, okay? Well, that's already fucking confirmed. Minecraft and Genshin, but So, do I think that domains are possible for customizations? Hell yeah. Will that be anytime soon? Hell, probably no. But I mean, this is an idea that would also add longevity to the game. So I'd like to hear what people have to say about this, and let me down in the comments below what you think. Share this with your friends that play Genshin and people who dropped out, and have their input if this would bring them back if they had a chance, or just have share it to friends and people that you think might enjoy this game if they had those features. But until then, this is Mr. Red Dragon 543. Like, comment, subscribe, and we do have the Genshin Nappers Discord in the comments, or in the link below. So hope you guys enjoy, and until then, I'll see you next time. Peace.